The Great Wall of China, an iconic symbol of strength and determination. But what if I told you this massive structure wasn't just a wall? It's a living testament to an ancient empire's struggle, survival, and vision for a united nation. What's the real story behind this wonder? Let's unravel the truth. The history of the Great Wall of China is a tale of ambition, power, and the need for protection. It began over 2,000 years ago during the early stages of China's imperial history. The origins of the wall are often traced back to the Warring States period, around the 7th century BCE, when various Chinese states built walls to protect themselves from nomadic tribes to the north, particularly the Xiongnu. However, these early walls were not connected. Their purpose was mainly to defend against raids, rather than serve as a continuous defensive barrier. The first real steps toward the Great Wall as we know it today began during the reign of the first emperor of China, Qin Shi Huang, in 221 BCE, after uniting China. Qin Shi Huang sought to protect his newly formed empire from external threats. At the time, the Xiongnu were a constant threat to the north, and the emperor needed a way to secure his borders. He ordered the connection of various existing walls and fortifications, extending them further into the north. This marked the first large-scale construction of the Great Wall. Although Qin Shi Huang's efforts were monumental, they were not entirely successful. The wall he built was not the massive stone structure we associate with the Great Wall today, but rather a series of earthen walls and wooden defenses. These were far less durable and were eventually overrun by invaders. Despite this, Qin Shi Huang's creation of the wall set a precedent for future rulers, laying the foundation for the wall's construction over the centuries. Over the centuries, the wall's construction continued in various forms under different dynasties. However, it was until till the Han Dynasty 206 BCE to 220 CE that the wall began to take on its more recognizable shape. The Han emperors extended the wall far into the western regions to protect the Silk Road, which was a vital trade route connecting China to the Mediterranean. This marked a significant expansion of the wall's role, not just as a defense against invasions but as a protector of China's economic interests. During the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 907 CE, the focus shifted more towards diplomacy and trade, and the wall's construction slowed. However, it was the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644 CE, that saw the wall's most significant expansion and fortification. The Ming emperors built the sturdy brick and stone wall that we recognize today, reinforcing the earlier structures and transforming the Great Wall into a symbol of China's strength and resolve. The purpose of the wall was not just defensive. It served multiple functions, including as a border marker and a way to control immigration and trade. The wall was a barrier to the nomadic tribes from the north, but it was also a symbol of the power of the emperors who built it. Its construction was a monumental feat of engineering, with watchtowers, barracks, and garrison stations built along the length of the wall to house soldiers and to provide clear communication across the vast expanse. The Great Wall of China was not just a physical barrier. It represented the strength and unity of the Chinese Empire. Over time, it came to symbolize the indomitable spirit of the Chinese people, their ability to come together to defend their homeland from external threats. Despite the many challenges it faced, from invasions to the forces of nature, the Great Wall endured through the centuries, standing as a testament to the resilience and determination of China. This first section laid the groundwork for the wall's construction, showing how it evolved over time. From a series of small fortifications to the monumental structure we know today, the Great Wall wasn't just a military defense. It was a symbol of China's will to survive and thrive. Building the Great Wall of China was no small task. The scale, the engineering, and the labor required to construct such a massive structure over thousands of miles is truly remarkable, stretching from the eastern coastline to the Gobi Desert in the west. The wall spanned over 13,000 miles, making it one of the most impressive architectural feats in history. But the process of its construction was not straightforward. It was a journey marked by immense challenges, political decisions, and the labor of millions of people. The wall was not constructed all at once. Instead, it was built in segments, with different dynasties adding their own unique contributions to the wall's ever-expanding length. The construction began as early as the 7th century BCE, but the largest portion of the wall, the one that we recognize today, was built during the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644 CE. This period saw the construction of a brick and stone wall, fortified towers, battlements, and signal fires that helped soldiers communicate over vast distances. The Ming construction is the most enduring and visually iconic version of the wall, giving it its reputation as the Great Wall. The materials used to build the wall varied depending on the region and the time period. In the northern deserts, where stone was scarce, the wall was often constructed with rammed earth, which was compacted soil that could be molded into shape. In other areas where resources allowed, bricks and stones were used for greater durability. The wall was not a single unbroken structure. Instead, it was made up of multiple segments that could vary in height and construction quality. In areas with better resources, the wall stood tall and strong, while in others, it was more modest and vulnerable to destruction. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Great Wall's construction is the sheer scale of human labor involved. It is estimated that more than 1 million workers were involved in the construction of the wall over the centuries, though many of them were forced laborers. Prisoners, peasants, and soldiers were often drafted to work on the wall under harsh conditions. Many workers died due to the extreme weather, difficult terrain, and the grueling nature of the work. The soldiers who manned the wall were often stationed in remote and harsh areas, facing isolation and danger, and many never returned home. In addition to human labor, the construction of the wall also required innovative engineering techniques. The Ming Dynasty, in particular, utilized advanced construction methods for the time, including the use of interlocking brickwork, which allowed the wall to withstand both natural and man-made forces. The builders also used watchtowers and fortresses along the wall to house soldiers, enabling them to monitor any movement from the north. These towers were equipped with signal fires, and in times of invasion, soldiers could light the fires to send messages to other stations along the wall. However, it wasn't just the physical challenges that made the construction of the Great Wall so difficult. The vastness of the terrain presented its own set of obstacles. From the arid deserts in the west to the mountain ranges in the north, the wall had to be constructed across some of the most inhospitable landscapes in the world. The terrain often meant that construction materials had to be carried over long distances, sometimes over rugged mountains. With no proper roads or transportation systems, the project required a monumental logistical effort. With workers moving large quantities of stone, earth, and bricks, often using simple tools and primitive methods, the construction process was also marked by a sense of urgency. The wall was built to protect the Chinese Empire from external threats, particularly from nomadic tribes like the Mongols and the Xiongnu. The threat of invasion loomed large throughout much of China's history, and the need for a formidable defense system was ever present. At times, the construction of the wall took precedence over other concerns, and its completion was seen as a critical step in securing the empire's survival. Despite the enormous human cost and the long years of hard labor, the Great Wall of China ultimately stood as a symbol of the resilience and determination of the Chinese people. It was more than just a defensive barrier, it was a representation of China's ability to come together and face adversity. Even in the face of overwhelming odds, the wall was built by the strength of millions from soldiers to peasants, all working toward a common goal: the protection of their homeland. This section highlights the vast scale and complexity of the Great Wall's construction. It wasn't just a building project, it was a monumental undertaking that required an immense amount of planning, labor, and innovation. The wall's construction was an act of both military strategy and national unity, and its legacy endures as a testament to the Chinese people's determination to protect their land and culture. The Great Wall of China wasn't just a physical structure. It was a critical strategic asset that played a vital role in China's defense, political control, and communication. It was the first line of defense against invasions. But its significance went beyond mere protection. It was also about controlling trade, managing migration, and projecting power. The wall was not only built for military purposes, but also to symbolize China's dominance and unity. One of the primary functions of the Great Wall was defense. Throughout much of China's history, the northern nomadic tribes, such as the Xiongnu, Mongols, and Turks, posed significant threats to the Chinese Empire. These tribes were skilled horsemen and archers, able to launch rapid raids across the border. The Great Wall was built to slow down or stop these invasions. While the wall did not prevent all attacks, many tribes found ways to breach it, TIT provided a defensive line that allowed China's military to prepare for invasions, organize counterattacks, and control key access points. Strategically, the Great Wall wasn't just about preventing attacks. It also allowed the Chinese Empire to project power across vast territories. The wall, with its towering presence, served as a reminder to potential invaders that China's rulers had the resources, determination, and infrastructure to maintain control over vast stretches of land. It was not just a wall, but a symbol of the strength of the ruling dynasties. The Ming dynasty, in particular, used the wall to assert their authority over the region. They built strong fortifications, garrison stations, and watchtowers, ensuring that their presence was felt far beyond the immediate border area. In addition to its military significance, the Great Wall played a vital role in managing trade and communication. During the Han Dynasty, the Great Wall helped protect the Silk Road, the ancient trade route that connected China to Central Asia and the Mediterranean. The Silk Road was one of the most important economic corridors of the ancient world, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and culture between East and West. By safeguarding this route, the wall helped ensure that China could control the flow of goods and maintain economic prosperity. But the wall was not just about trade and war, it also served as a control mechanism. The Chinese Empire, particularly during the Han and Ming dynasties, used the wall to control migration and regulate movement across their borders. Nomadic tribes would often attempt to cross the wall to settle in Chinese territory, seeking agricultural land or trading opportunities. The wall helped prevent these tribes from entering China's interior, maintaining stability within the empire's heartland. The wall also served as a powerful communication tool. The presence of watchtowers along the wall allowed for quick transmission of information. Soldiers stationed at various points along the wall were able to signal one another using smoke signals, flags, and fires. This allowed the empire to respond rapidly to any signs of invasion or military activity along the northern frontier. The watchtowers were not just military outposts, they were hubs of information, ensuring that China's defense systems operated efficiently. The strategic importance of the Great Wall was not just about the military power it provided, it also helped preserve China's sovereignty by controlling the movement of foreign influences. The Great Wall made it harder for other powers to directly enter China's core, ensuring that the Chinese government could retain its dominance over the region. The wall also acted as a cultural barrier, protecting the Chinese way of life from the intrusion of foreign cultures, preserving traditions, and maintaining the integrity of the empire. Over time, the Great Wall's significance evolved. In the early stages of its construction, it served as a defense against invaders. But as Chinese civilization grew, it became a tool for consolidating and maintaining political power. By the time of the Ming dynasty, the wall had become more than just a military barrier, it had become a cornerstone of Chinese identity, a physical representation of the empire's strength and unity. It was both a symbol of resistance and a tool for dominance. Even today, the Great Wall is regarded not just as an ancient monument, but as a testament to the ingenuity, resilience, and strategic thinking of the Chinese people. It remains a powerful symbol of China's history and its ability to adapt, survive, and thrive in the face of external threats. The Great Wall of China's legacy as a strategic asset is part of what makes it one of the most extraordinary man-made structures in the world. In this section, we've explored how the Great Wall wasn't just a physical barrier, but a multifunctional asset in military defense, political control, and economic regulation. The wall served a vital role in controlling borders, managing migration, protecting trade, and asserting the power of China's ruling dynasties. It was more than just a wall, it was an embodiment of the strength, unity, and resilience of China itself. Though the Great Wall of China was once the most powerful military defense in the world, its role over time diminished, and today it stands not as a barrier, but as a historical monument. The decline of the wall is tied to both internal and external factors, ranging from changes in military strategy to the forces of nature. Despite this, the legacy of the Great Wall is far-reaching, continuing to influence Chinese culture, identity, and tourism even today. One of the main reasons for the decline of the Great Wall as a military defense was the evolution of warfare. As gunpowder and firearms became more advanced, the wall's physical structure became less effective against invading armies. The stone walls that once deterred nomadic tribes could no longer stop powerful cannons, firearms, and other advanced weaponry. The wall's limitations were exposed during the 17th century, when the Qing dynasty, which rose to power after the fall of the Ming dynasty, used more advanced methods of warfare that bypassed the wall entirely. The Qing forces, for instance, employed fast-moving cavalry and superior siege technologies, which allowed them to easily overpower traditional defenses like the Great Wall. Another factor that contributed to the wall's decline was the shift in China's approach to border defense. During the Qing dynasty, the empire expanded beyond the northern borders, incorporating many of the nomadic tribes that had once been its enemies, instead of relying on the wall to protect its frontiers. The Qing government chose diplomacy and military alliances with these tribes. The wall, which had once stood as a symbol of China's resistance to foreign invasion, no longer served its original purpose as the empire's northern border defenses. Additionally, the Great Wall faced the challenges of time and nature. The vast structure, which spanned such a large and diverse range of landscapes, was constantly at risk of erosion. The harsh desert winds, heavy rainfall, and freezing temperatures gradually took their toll on the wall's physical integrity. In many areas, the wall began to crumble, and parts of it were abandoned or repurposed for other uses. Nature, as well as human neglect, eroded the strength of what had once been an imposing structure. Despite the decline of its military importance, the Great Wall's legacy endured in Chinese history and culture. The wall came to symbolize not just military might, but also the perseverance, unity, and ambition of the Chinese people. It became a national icon, representing the determination of China's rulers to protect their civilization from external threats. Over time, the Great Wall became an enduring symbol of China's strength and resilience, not just a physical structure, but a cultural and historical landmark. In modern times, the Great Wall has also become a major tourist attraction. Visitors from all over the world come to marvel at its size, beauty, and historical significance. UNESCO recognized the wall as a World Heritage Site in 1987, and since then, efforts have been made to preserve and protect the sections of the wall that remain intact. The wall, now a symbol of China's rich history, attracts millions of tourists each year, serving as a reminder of the grandeur of ancient Chinese civilization. In addition to its popularity as a tourist destination, the Great Wall has become an enduring part of China's national identity. It is often invoked in political and cultural contexts, representing China's strength, unity, and resilience. The wall is celebrated in literature, art, and even popular culture, where it appears in countless movies, documentaries, and books. It serves as a reminder of the Chinese people's long history of overcoming adversity and their ability to stand strong in the face of challenges. Though it no longer serves its original purpose of defending against invasion, the Great Wall of China continues to stand as a testament to the ingenuity and determination of the people who built it. It is a monument to human effort and endurance, and its legacy is far from fading. The wall's decline, as a military structure, may have come with the passing of time, but its place in Chinese history and culture remains secure. The legacy of the Great Wall is not just found in its physical structure, but in the stories, myths, and cultural narratives that have been built around it over the centuries. Today, the wall stands not as a wall of stone and earth, but as a living piece of China's history, a monument to the enduring spirit of a civilization that has withstood the tests of time, war, and nature. Its legacy continues to inspire awe and admiration from people around the world, making the Great Wall of China not only one of the most famous man-made structures on Earth, but also one of the most enduring symbols of human perseverance.